Good morning, Margi.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. First, am I clearly visible and audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So first, many congratulations to you on securing
Thank
rank
you, sir.
4 in the civil services exam.
Thank you.
How was the feeling and what were you doing when the results came and what was your immediate reaction?
So I was just anxious. I was just waiting for the results because probably everybody knows when the results going to come. So I was just waiting with a friend, and the moment the PDF came and I opened it, there was already a fake PDF circulating somewhere. So as I opened the real PDF, I also thought it was fake because the single digit rank was not what I could fathom at the moment. So I rechecked it like 3 to 4 times, after which I could really believe that, okay, this is true. And then I just felt relieved that this process has successfully been completed.
Yeah. So more than joy in civil services examination, there is a sense of relief that you don't have to go through the same Lakshmikant spectrum in the
Especially after
next.
5 attempts, that's the feeling.
Yes. So that uh, can you just tell me about your background, your education, and your family background? And
Sir, I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I'm 25 years old. I have completed my graduation in computer engineering from LD College, Ahmedabad. And my father passed away in 2017. And my mother is right now a coordinator in a private school. And I have a younger brother who's studying at ISC Bangalore.
so you're studying at IISc Bangalore, and now you have set a certain benchmark of being an all India topper. But anyway, your brother also comes very close. I mean, he's studying in one of
Yes,
the most premium institutions. When did you
definitely.
decide to? You are from Gujarat, is that correct? Yes. So since when did? I mean, suddenly. I mean, I think just 2 or 3 years back we had Nagzi Bhai ranked 3 from from Gujarat. So suddenly, when did people from Gujarat start preparing for civil services?
So Gujarat has had great talent. We were just yet to identify it. And once we did, we are doing wonders. But having said that, the awareness is really improving year by year. And we have institutions like SPIPA who are guiding us. And then apart from that, so the societies or the associations in the colleges itself are increasing. Like we had one association in our college itself to raise awareness about civil services as a career. So I think because students are knowing about this at a young age, they're able to pursue it better.
So earlier we used to tell students that you pass out of graduation and then start preparing. Don't ruin your college life. But nowadays what I've seen is, and definitely this has been the conventional way, which is why sometimes you see that, it takes some time. But these days we are seeing that students are preparing from second year and third year onwards. So what is your take on this with the benefit of your own experience as well as young people who are now coming and preparing for civil services?
So, sir, I also started preparing in my second year itself. But having said that, the preparation was not that rigorous as one would need and one would be able to do after graduation. I certainly enjoyed my college life to the fullest. I organized events, I participated in them. I did not miss out on that experience because I believe that those 4 years or 3 years are very crucial in shaping your personality, whether it is vibrant, it is you develop um, values like hard work and taking initiatives and interacting with people. So all of that is developed in that very crucial time. So I believe that one must not miss on their college experience, and if they are able to reduce on some leisure time that they have, a little 2 3 4 hours here and there, then they can study alongside the graduation.
All right. So coming to the prelims exam, I see that you were a part of SFG. So I'm going to drop a mail to the students that an SFG student has made it to the final list, and the highest rank that we have is from rank 4. Wonderful. But now coming to the prelims exam, I mean, what were the common sources or books that you were referring to?
So
Your
my
books.
resources were very standard and very limited. So I did not use anything beyond what the standard sources were, like the NCRTs for geography, environment, economy, or let's say modern India, Kilia Spectrum, then Lakshmikant for polity. Apart from that, I referred to Nitin Singhania for economy. But apart from that, for current affairs, I relied on the content and the classes of Forum. They were very brilliantly developed in the sense they were very crisp and concise, and I only refer to them for my current affairs as a current affairs source. And having said that, SFG content developers at Forum are doing a great job because the excellent quality of content that SFG could provide helped me improve my base of knowledge. So I think these things certainly helped in clearing prelims in the attempts which I followed SFG.
Wonderful. So in the prelims exam, how many questions do you think one should attempt, according to you?
That is a very individual or personal question, I believe, because everybody's accuracy is different. My accuracy was not that brilliant that I could attempt around 70, 75 questions and still get above the cutoff. So I used to attempt anywhere between 85 and 90 questions. And during the 23 paper, because it was a little on the tougher side, I attempted around 82 to 83 questions.
What was your strategy when you were left with two options? Did you attempt that, or did you not, or did you do something like 50-50?
Sir, in the questions that I had 50-50 options, I used to see how many short I've done. If that number is great, let's say 30, 35, then I used to take an educated guess in the 40 next questions. And I had to attempt it because, as I said, I was not great at maintaining high levels of accuracy. So it was around 80, 85%, I guess. So that is why I did take an educated guess. But because I had practiced so many questions, so that habit had been cultivated that most of those questions proved to be correct.
Wonderful. And if you did, in your previous attempt, if you did not clear the prelims, what do you think was the reason behind it? I mean, what is the reason that you or anybody else, I mean, we start messing up with prelims for the first 2-3 years, or 2 years at least. So what was mistakes that
So,
you made?
my first takeaway or recommendation to the students would be that if you're not prepared enough, please do not give the first attempt. Don't give it just for the sake of trying how the examination feels like. Because when you are in your fourth, fifth attempt, you realize that value of that um, not so good first attempt, and you realize that you should not have given it. So I gave it just after my graduation, my final examination of my college completed in August 2020, and I gave the prelims in October 2020. So that was not a very wise decision, according to me. And so that is where I messed up. I was not prepared enough. And secondly, I tried to analyze the paper in the examination hall itself, if it was difficult or easy. So in 2020, as I remember, there were a lot of questions from the side of agriculture. And seeing the question itself, I was so scared that I did not care to apply the logic that I might have, the rational mindset that I had developed during my engineering. I thought to completely neglect that and realized that this is not my cup of tea in the examination hall itself. So the one thing that students should not do is give up in the examination hall itself and decide that they are not going to clear this paper.
Yes. Uh, sometimes students, and I'm sure that you're one of them, just until the list, holy PDF had your name. So sometimes the students come and say that they have a high error, they're getting too many questions wrong and they have a low accuracy. So as mentors, we suggest them to revise. Uh, what do you think? I mean, why some students get like 30 correct and 40 wrong, something like that? What is the problem, according to you? As
Sir, I believe students, if they are facing this problem, they might be referring to multiple resources which they are not able to revise periodically and timely. And secondly, they cannot control that temptation of not attempting the questions that they do not know. I think they might be taking on their ego in especially on in questions of CSAT. If somebody comes from a technical background or science background, they think they should know quant, but that is no such thing that you should know. You try to maximize on what you know and control the temptation of attempting questions that you do not know. I think this could work in favor of the aspirants.
Wonderful. You're also part of, previous year question. We had a course last year, so PYQs and everything. How relevant or how important is, PYQs practice for the prelims, and what was your strategy with PYQs?
So I think attempting PYQs does not only mean that one should know the correct answer. It they should also see that what the other options are and why they are incorrect in the first place.
Wonderful. Coming to CSAT, increasingly, we are seeing that CSAT has become a major bottleneck. So what was your strategy for CSAT, and did you face any challenges, or you were sorted with CSAT? What was it?
CSAT, fortunately, I have not faced a problem with in all the 5 years. But it was because of the fact that I practiced CSAT and I did not take it for granted. From my first attempt itself, I used to give as many full lengths of CSAT as that of GS, and in SFG as we were given 5 questions every day of CSAT, and then a day where we were given 40 questions. So I made that a point that I do not miss the CSAT tests. I used to give the CSAT tests and I just did not stop after the GS was completed. So I believe that continuous practice does make your CSAT good, like you'll have a good score if you practice CSAT questions enough. And apart from that, I cannot emphasize on the importance of PYQs and the complete papers. I practiced since 2010. So, yes, it was sorted because I practiced and not because I took it for granted.
Margi, so at ForumIAS, I mean, I'm sure you must have attended some of the sessions. We recommend that with CSAT, some students have this strategy that they'll study for CSAT like 7, 8 hours a day in the end, versus what we recommend in SFG is that you solve even 10 questions every day, but you do it over a longer period of time. I mean, what is your take on it?
Sir, I think CSAT needs everyday practice. It is not something that can be crammed up or memorized. And so 7, 8 hours one day, those formulas will be remembered. The next day, probably most of the formulas the students might not be able to recall. So if you practice every day, I think that is a better strategy. And CSAT for me actually used to be that relaxing time, because after you've learned a lot of GS, you've memorized a lot, you've studied a lot, you need some time to just solve questions, to see the formulas, and that is a very relaxing time. So I think students can take it and make it a part of their leisure time, at least half an hour, 1 hour if they can.
Wonderful. And how did your day 1 month before the prelims look like?
Sir, so
Not this attempt.
in the
I mean,
initial
this attempt.
attempts,
Yes, yes, in the
in this
initial
attempt,
attempts, not
yes,
this attempt.
in
No, no, in this attempt,
yes,
I
sir.
mean, you're waiting for the result, but in the initial attempts, or how generally, I mean, last year, how did your day before the prelims
So, so
look
my
like?
day, my months before the prelims looked like a lot of static revision. I did a lot of revision for polity, economy, modern, all of those notes I used to memorize a lot. And apart from that, in the last 4, 5, 6 days, I used to memorize the current affairs part. The notes I used to read them thoroughly. And then the test series that I had given and the remarks that I wrote on the side. I used to write remarks on the side of every paper wherever I messed up or wherever I wrote an incorrect answer. I wrote the correct answer there itself. So I used to flip through those pages just to get an idea of where I'm making the mistakes and to ensure that I don't make those same mistakes again.
Wonderful. Coming to note making, how did you make your notes? Digital notes or complete paper notes?
So I couldn't make digital notes because didn't have an iPad or a tablet. So making notes in the laptop was a little difficult. So I made a lot of handwritten notes. Also, I like writing them myself and not copying and pasting. So because when I write myself, I apply my mind to it. I'm very conscious. So for me, making handwritten notes worked.
All right. Um, any hacks or any organization methods that you used particularly, because in the problem in the civil services exam is that for the same topic we may have written it several times, isn't it? So any hacks or techniques that you use so that you could have your consolidated notes?
Sir, for prelims, I had very consolidated notes. For mains, I made my answers as my notes. So they were not very consolidated, but they were full of knowledge. But in prelims, I had made notes from Lakshmikant, from Modern, and all the new knowledge from practicing questions from SFG or any mocks. I used to add in those pages itself. And something that was very unique or something that I might not find in Spectrum or any other resource that I might have referred, I used to write it on a new page, but in the same set of notes, so that I don't miss on any notes or I don't duplicate my efforts.
Wonderful. Uh, with respect to your mains preparation, what is the difference in approach that we need to do when it comes to switching from prelims to mains? Because every year I see thousands of students, they're clearing the prelims and now they have addicted to, writing tests, clearing the prelims, but for mains, they have not studied because you need to switch and you need to switch very quickly. So did you face such challenges, and according to you, what is the difference in approach needed for the mains?
Sir, I faced that challenge in 2022. I cleared my prelims, both civil services and forest. But because I did not prepare enough for mains, I did not know that I'd need the notes consolidation. I'd need those answers to be written in a very time-bound manner. So all of that approach is very different. While prelims needs a lot of breadth, mains demands a lot of depth. Secondly, in prelims, analysis is very less compared to what we need in mains. And thirdly, in mains, we need very, I'd say, quick thinking. In the sense, you don't have enough time to think about the questions that you're going to write. So you need to prepare some intro, some conclusions, something that you've cultivated on your own after writing a lot of answers. So that approach and that demand is a lot of depth, which we need to switch from when we are giving prelims.
Wonderful. Uh, Coming to general studies paper one, we have some new subjects such as that we generally don't study in the prelim stage. One is world history, then there is post-independence history. So these subjects and society. So did you do these subjects or you left it all together?
Sir, I did world history and post independence from some notes that I had. They were very concise, so I did not spend a lot of time. But yes, I did not leave them completely because I wanted to have an idea about a question if it was asked. I did not want to leave the question blank. And secondly, sir, sociology was my optional. So for society, I did not have to prepare something very new or different to address the society questions.
And last 2 3 weeks before the mains examination, we have this trouble of balancing the mains examination, the general studies versus the essay and versus the optional. So how did your day look like and how did you balance it before the
So
mains
my
examination?
in the last few days, I was just reading. I was focusing more on the essay and the optional because that's where I faltered in the last attempt, especially the essay. So I was focusing on revising my essay notes, and apart from that, GS I focused on memorizing the data points because that I believed was what was missing in my previous attempts. And sir, I used to memorize the ethics keywords and dilemmas because that again would reduce the time that I'd need for thinking. So, and the optional, I was ready. It's ready enough that I would be able to do in the 5 days break that we get.
Wonderful, wonderful. With respect to your essay, I mean, what changes, what changes did you bring in your strategy, or what do you think worked for you?
So my essays in my 22 and 23 attempt look very mechanical. While everybody says that your essay needs to have a flow and coherence, it is very difficult to develop. So,
Mhm.
because of that, I think what changed in my strategy was trying to develop that flow and coherence in my essay between two different paragraphs, including a lot of unique examples from different sectors and different dimensions. That would give a message that I am able to interrelate and correlate this topic with multiple other dimensions that the evaluator might need.
Wonderful. Coming to the personality test, one is, did you get sufficient time this year for preparing for your interview? And how
Yes,
did
my
you
interview
go
was
ahead
in
with it
April, so I
in
got
April?
a lot of time actually.
Okay. And what were the key elements of your interview preparation? Like,
So
what did you do?
this time the key element was apart from the DAF, which needs to be thoroughly covered, and I understand the importance of it, but also being able to articulate your answers and expressing them in the way that you have it in your mind becomes very important during the interview preparation. So I had a good lot of peers, and they were changing with every month because a lot of people completed the interview in January, February, and March. But till April, I tried to have discussions with a new lot of peers, and they were very good and enriched my knowledge a lot and helped me analyze one single issue or one single topic from multiple dimensions.
Wonderful. So it was your fifth attempt. I mean, you did face challenges in prelims and the mains examination before. How did you maintain your motivation levels throughout these years?
Sir, as I believe, and I've said it a lot of times as well, that one can be motivated internally only. Like you need the support of your family and friends definitely, and they can support you in your low times, in your times when you stop believing in yourself for that very short period of time. But apart from that, in this examination, nobody can push you externally to persist, and especially for 5 long years or 6 long years. And secondly, for that, to have that internal motivation, one's goal should be higher than oneself, larger than oneself, in the sense that when you face a setback, you don't think मेरा क्यों नहीं हुआ, or you don't think मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों होता है, but you think about why you are doing it and why you are taking all these efforts and sacrificing the prime of your life. So that why has to be very big, much bigger than yourself to persist for such a long time.
Wonderful. My one question which I ask with every candidate is the pen loyalty. So as silly as it may sound, we begin with a certain pen, and then because the mains exams requires you to write for so many dozens of hours, we keep changing the pens until we find one perfect pen that will help us write painlessly, effortlessly, and with a fast handwriting. So for you, which pen
Right.
did you begin with, and which pen did you actually write your mains exam with?
So, sir, I began with a very normal pen. Sino is very normal. No, you would find nobody in the mains examination hall writing with this pen. But I thought I have written with it a lot of times, so this is what I'm comfortable with. But this time I actually changed my pen and I used a gel pen because that gave me better handwriting. And as I already mentioned, presentation matters a lot. So, but I used this pen then to write all my answers during this attempt, so that I was very comfortable using this pen for these many hours that I have to write my answers in mains. Should I
Wonderful.
name it?
Yes.
Like,
You can show your pen also. You have it
okay,
around
this
your
was
side.
my pen. I think it is Luxure Snyder something, LX Max.
Okay.
This is
This is
what
for
I
the mains
used.
exam.
Yes.
For
Yes,
the
this
mains
was the
exam.
mains exam.
And for bubbling for the prelims examination, use the same pen or something else? Liquid flow.
No, so that was a very normal ball pen. Any pen would work.
Okay, wonderful. So, lastly, we do organize for SFG. We used to have some sessions as well as we write articles. I write articles as Neon. Did you ever get a chance to read those mails we used to send you, from Neon and even otherwise?
Yes, I did receive those mails and I read a lot of them, especially when the results were not in my favor. And then those mails helped a lot because during that time, you need someone to tell you it's okay. A lot of other aspirants are also going through the same deal. And so that helped in cheering me up when the results were not in my favor.
Really wonderful. Uh, so that is all. Anything else that you'd like to say to students who are now going to in the next 25 days, who are going to write the prelims examination? What would be your message to them in these last
So my
days?
only message would be, apart from the strategy and resources that everybody knows, my only message would be to maintain their calm and composure and have confidence in the preparation that they've done in a long time. To believe in themselves that whatever they've prepared it thoroughly, and they'll be able to utilize it and express that knowledge and utilize that knowledge in the examination hall itself. So when they have that confidence, I think they'll be able to excel in the prelims.
Wonderful. So many congratulations again, Margi. We hope to see you very
Thank you,
soon
sir.
in Delhi. You've been all
Thank you,
throughout in,
sir.
and which city in Gujarat are you located? Which city
Sir,
in
in
Gujarat?
Ahmedabad.
You are in Ahmedabad itself. Wonderful. So we hope to see you very soon in Delhi, and many congratulations again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Shalom. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Margi.